guys and gals, Nary here from Drake Wing Gaming, some of me on Twitter, The Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of In Case of Emergency. So I'm on my break right now. I'm gonna go ahead and spend a little bit of time making a new video for y'all. Let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Alarm Chan, you are up, and let's go. Alright, where were we? February 22nd. There you go. Alright. Luke throws the door open, the moonlight lighting up the store. You run into the cool night breeze, free from the claustrophobic, undead air of the store. There's grass under your feet as you run for your life, your legs pumping faster than they have in any gym class. You greedily suck in the cold midnight air as you race for the docks. Luke catches up to you, choking out last between his gasps for air. Now that you've stopped, your heart burns and your legs feel like jelly. You slump down on the ground and pray that spiders can't cross running water. Undead spiders are just leggy vampires, aren't they? Holy shit! Did you just abandon me back there? Age before beauty. Luke cracks up, rolling on the floor as your throat burns. He holds a thin black book pressed to his chest. I can't believe we made it! Remind me to never use you as our getaway driver. Remind me to never be your getaway driver. You took forever to get that book. I hope it's worth it, man. Luke's smile softens as he gets to his feet. He fits the book under the crook of one arm as he helps you up. It better be. Thanks for helping me out. Anytime. You punch his shoulder gently in a show of solidarity, and Luke chuckles. Okay, man. What a bro-y thing to do. What? How's that bro-y? Luke punches you back, and you're laughing too, as he affects a pseudo-deep voice. I've got you, man. No problem, bro. Beer's in the game later, dude. Oh my god, shut up. The game. Catch the game. Broski. You and me. The game. You roll your eyes, a grin splitting your face. There's something natural about hanging out with Luke that feels hard to mess up. Alright, I'm gonna head upstairs to read my book. See you in the morning. Luke waves and disappears in the tavern without waiting for an answer. The cool night breeze tickles your cheeks, still warm from running and laughter. You're glad you came down here. Whatever this is, it's better than anything you had at home. After a long night of daring escapades, you finally retire to your room. The bed is hard. It's the exact stiffness of the vinyl mattress in your dorm, which is oddly comforting. You're so exhausted, your bones so weary that it would be impossible not to fall asleep immediately once you got under the covers. It would be impossible to stay up any longer than you already have. You've been running around all day. You're tired. Too tired for your thoughts to keep you awake. Like, you have a good thing going with Luke, right? What are the chances that you messed that up somehow? In fact, you know what you haven't thought about in a while? Wouldn't it be a true feat of endurance to stay up thinking about Dad right now? It would take immense willpower to replay all your greatest hits. Like, Dad, how are you, Kieran? I'm fine. Good, good. You need anything? Not really. Snacks? Are you eating okay at school? Yeah, it's fine. How's your dorm room? You like your roommate? Do you have enough space for your stuff? Dad, I already told you, I'm fine. Okay, if you say so. You know, I don't tell you this often, but... Hang on, my roommate just came back. He's so annoying. I have to go. I'll talk to you later. No problem. Talk to you later, kiddo. Dude, I told you, you can't hang your wet socks on the windowsill. You remember this conversation every day for the past 2 months. You're starting to forget when you first came down to Peregrine, but now the memories are back again with suffocating intensity. It's like 70 days in a row. That has to be some kind of record, right? Is it normal to feel like you're drowning in memories of people that don't exist? Luke. Oh. Hey, I know I tend to deflect from having serious conversations, so don't be afraid about this. So don't be weird about this, but I'm really just afraid of rejection, and that's why I can be aloof at times. Also, I really like you and think you're cool. Don't tell anyone I said that. You're not sure what the point of coming down here is if you can't escape your own head. Are you ever going to get out of there? Are you even supposed to? You wish there was someone to tell you what to do. Not everyone has the privilege of being able to escape the real world, jackass. But alas, that is the burden we take on. We must raise up the downtrodden so that they may partake in our worlds. See? This guy gets it. Privileges such as the chance to romance the fair maidens of this land. We shall sally forth, our banners held high, so that we might fight for the hand of a lovely lady. Or man, or someone who doesn't identify as either, and we don't need to speak over them. Not at all. Our good deeds will speak for themselves. They will speak to the chaste, courtly nature of our love and its ability to persevere through hardship. We are the purest of realization of chivalry. We are what it means to be kind, to be noble, to be men of God. Ha! Your pursuits of courtly favor are painfully mortal pastimes. To truly approach God, one must disavow such earthly desires. God has left behind scripture for us to read and copy. There can a man find the shortest proximity to his light. What the fuck? Where are these voices coming from? Fortunately, it is not the piety of one's spirit that makes one a knight. Any common man can be pious. It is a warrior spirit that makes a man a knight. No, wait. Before we go any further, I have another question. Are any of you guys okay with gay people? No. I feel like hand stuff. Oh. No, I agree. I think a little hand stuff with the homies is okay. What in the world are you talking about? You know, the Greeks. Well, what the hell am I doing here, then? Do I even belong here? Maybe if we could fantasize about a medieval past that was less heteronormative. Did Alan Turing belong in the mid-century? You don't belong anywhere. You just have to get used to that. Kieran, go to sleep. But what if I talk in my sleep? Or worse, what if I walk? There's a word for that. Somnobulant. Somnobalance. You can go to sleep, or you can help me wash the dishes. Good night. That's what I thought. Do you have everything packed for school tomorrow? It's going to be your first day of high school. Yeah, I know. You don't have to narrate my life. I know what's going to happen. Okay, I packed you a lunch. It's in the fridge. When's Mom coming back? You liked your food better? Not really. She can't cook either. Yeah, well, I guess I got that from her. She won't be back until I leave for college, so you're going to have to stay with Dad until then. But who's going to do the dishes in the meantime? I'm sure you'll figure something out. We all have to grow up at some point. I already have. If you say so. Don't forget to do the dishes when I'm gone, okay? Good night, Kieran. Good night. Oh, a lot of backstory here. The morning comes too quickly. The sun has already crested the horizon by the time you roll yourself out of your stiff covers. Downstairs, the rest of your party is already packed and ready to go. Luke sits on the edge of a table, dangling his feet over the tavern's uneven floorboards. Good morning. We all slept well last night, I trust? Everyone grumbles something without much enthusiasm. You're running on 24 hours of road trip, when most of the initial novelty had already worn off, and now you're trapped in a car with people you're not sure you ever liked in the first place. As you head out into the city, you see that the bridge that runs over the river has been lowered since last night. A line of merchants has already formed. People jostle to get their goods moving out of the city and back onto the road. You wonder if they know about the impending apocalypse. The five of you come to a standstill at the very back of the line out of the city. Remus sighs as he surveys the wagons towering with sacks and crates. I don't like doing this. He straightens, rolling his shoulders back as he reaches for his crown and gently lifts it from his head. The heads of the crowd turn in unison, and a murmur begins to rise from the crowd. That's the king! What is he doing here? One man gets to his knees and fully prostrates himself. Remus jerks his head towards the other end of the bridge, motioning for the party to follow him. He slips easily through the crowd, the people parting around him like water. Excuse us. You make short work of the bridge until you escape back onto the dirt road. I like this music. Ahead of you lies a wooded valley, and past it, the slate-gray outline of a mountain range on the horizon. Grim Mountain. We make for a mouth that leads to the caves inside. The hard lies of the mountain's center. Thanks to your work last night, we can circumvent our former obstacles entirely. It's just through this forest now. Let us make haste. We may yet be ready. Wow, 1 second, y'all. We may yet be early to the end of the world. Remus marches down the dirt road with a pep in his step, having apparently recovered from his disappointment from earlier. In the forest, the thick trunks of moss-covered trees stretch towards the sky like fingers from the earth. The air is cool in the shade. The ground smells of fresh leaves and damp dirt. Your family used to go on hikes when you were a kid. Not so much after Mom and Dad separated. So, anyone know any games to play? What, like icebreakers? We already know each other. I have a song we can sing. If it starts with a number and rhymes with bottles of beer on the wall, I'd prefer not to. How about I spy with my little eye something that's small, brown, a little too energetic for this time of day. Really, Luke? My poop? my poop when I don't eat any vegetables? Gross. They sell fiber supplements, you know. Some of them even come in gummy form. I've never seen Luke willingly eat anything good for him. Once I ate one of my mom's frozen diet dinners. It came with cinnamon peach mash and everything. Only worth 3 points, too. These are your friends? Not the pious types, I take it. I could take at least 3 of them in armed combat. Hey, Kieran, watch it! Remus puts out an arm in front of you, halting your mindless march to the forest. Barely a foot in front of you is a patch of darkness, a small circle of void stuff that lies directly in your path. Remus steps forward to examine it, the leaves crunching under his boots. This is not the first I've spotted today. The resolution must truly be vile to pockmark the landscape like this. Pick up the stick. You pick up a nearby stick and dip it into the hole. Where it meets the void, the stick disappears into inky darkness. When you pull it out, the stick is still intact. Kick some leaves into it. You push some dried foliage into the hole with your foot. You expect to see the leaves float down into something, but instead they're consumed as soon as they touch the void, like being engulfed by tar. Put your hand in it. Something compels you to get closer, as though it's the only choice you have. You crouch down to your heels and brace one hand on the exterior of the hole. This is a bad idea. What are you doing? I do not understand. It's a metaphor for penetration. You know, like trains, missiles, skyscrapers, swords. Put your whole fist in. One finger in. Put one finger in. No one stops you as you poke one finger into the hole. You expect to feel something cold, pain, anything, but there's no sensation. You try to wriggle your finger to no avail. It's like it's gone. You pull out your finger in a panic, only to find that it's still attached. The sensation of nothingness proceeds as quickly as it appeared. So, have you sated your curiosity? I think so. One moment you're standing on solid ground, the next, the ground disappears from under you. You flail for a grip, one hand just barely catching the edge of a surface that begins to crumble under your fingers. Everything is dark and the world has gone silent. You recognize the lifeline under your hand as the dirt and grass as you were standing in moments ago. You've fallen into the void. Okay, stay calm. You know that you're still anchored to the world above by your grip. You're still alive for now. Hello? Hello? Can anyone hear me? No one responds. Something tickles your exposed hand, and you hope it's one of your friends and not a black widow looking for its partner post-coitus. Weird. What a weird thing. If this is nothingness, it isn't what it's hyped up to be. Isn't this where people try to come when they meditate? You feel neither relaxed nor centered as your feet dangle over the abyss. Something scatters across your face, and you taste dirt. You feel yourself losing your grip, clinging on only by the pads of your fingers. Your shoulders burn with effort as your feet swing precariously over the unknown. You cannot stay here. What? What? You brought something into this world, and you lost it to the void. My dick? My dick? So. The dildo that was supposed to be my class project. That was an accident, I swear. You must find your lost pride and go home, yet something tethers you to this place. Your sword hums against your thigh, vibrating in its scabbard. You carry an item forged by the crown. Something pulls at you, like a child tugging on their parent's pant leg. You hear in the distance sounds, voices, laughter, and... What was that? Oh. And laughter and cars? The sound of a city, but it's as though the sound is being pulled from your ears rather than entering them. You can't hold on any longer. Your fingers slip from the edge, and unmoored from your anchor, you feel your stomach lurch for a moment in free fall. Until something grasps your forearms, hard, and yanks you upwards. Your head breaches the cool forest air of Peregrine, and your feet scramble against the dry leaves and twigs to regain your footing. Slipping forward, you nearly crash into the person pulling you up. Wes catches you with a hand on your shoulder, steadying you. Luke claps from a couple meters away. Don't worry, I was here for moral support. He was readying a spell in case one of us lost our footing. I think I could use that spell right about now. Your legs are shaking, and when you stumble, Luke rushes up to catch you. Whoa, careful there! You're still breathing hard, shaken up from your experience. What happened down there? I heard God? I think I talked to God? That's concerning. The group keeps walking, the mood noticeably more somber than before. No one knows quite how to broach the conversation, so no one does. You don't fault them. You've hardly even processed it. Maybe you were just imagining things. You fell into the lull of a hike, each foot stepping in front of the other without much thought. You wonder if Remus was right, and the bridgeback and convivience had stolen your adventure. This feels less like the Fellowship and more like an awkward hiking trip that's picked up strays. Before you know it, the sun is setting and the night air is turning chilly. The mountains, once on the horizon, are now the sloped hills below your feet. We should think about setting up camp. I call making the fire. That's not fair. It's as easy for you. What can I say? I know my strengths. Wes's shield can provide the dish when we eat family style, and you can... Luke makes a vague gesture with his hand. You can do everything else, since you like to pull more than your weight. For some reason. It's the closest thing to an olive branch you can imagine you'll ever see out of Luke. As you set up a place to sleep for the night, Luke does help out. You all share from your packs a handful of dried meats and nuts. It's not the most exciting thing in the world, but it's filling after a long day of walking. Westus appears to follow the sound of a creek, and Cedric goes to sit by the fire. Luke plops himself in the corner of the camp, poring over his book. You finally have a chance to catch your breath. The past few days have gone by in a blur. Under most circumstances, the exhaustion would be getting to you, but here, you feel stronger than usual. You wonder how Luke is doing, and if the book he found is everything he hoped for. From across the camp, Remus pads over to you. I will scout for an entrance into the mountain's caves. Come find me after you've had a chance to check in with your companions. He turns on his heel and walks away, towards the hills, leaving you and your companions alone. Who do you talk to first? We're trying to talk to Luke. Luke is set up in a corner of the camp, a gently floating ball of light hovering over his head like an anglerfish. He pores over a leather-bound book with his bangs falling in front of his eyes, mouth corked in frustration. Learn anything interesting? Luke glances up at you, expression unchanging. No! This book kind of blows! Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, leave a super thanks or a tip if you can, it always helps. Until the next video, I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!